Hey folks, welcome to the Kaleidoscope Kitchen. What we're going to do today, we're going to do a Jeff creation of a burrito pie quesadilla. Don't know exactly how you're going to describe it, but I have to share one thing with everybody before we start on the cooking. I'm very casual today, extremely casual, because what you wear when you cook doesn't make your food taste any better, by the way. But the shirt I'm wearing is a raggedy old t-shirt. It's way too big. I've had it for a long time. I do everything with it. I had it on outside and I took it off in our utility room. Has a mop sink in it. And Lisa was soaking some stuff in bleach. I didn't realize that, so I took my t-shirt off, threw it in the sink, went on about my way. See what happened to my favorite t-shirt? I guess it kind of goes with the Kaleidoscope Kitchen. All right, what here we got is we got some shredded chicken breast that was left over. We've got it seasoned real well with salt, pepper, paprika, and a little bit of garlic powder. We're using up leftovers at the Kaleidoscope Kitchen. And just hang in right there for a minute. We took a bag of boiling bag rice. We made it. We added a little bit of chopped mushroom that we had left over and a can of Rotel tomatoes. Now, the Rotel tomatoes, use the spice level you want for the Rotel tomatoes. We've got that. That's going to go in our pie. We also have a can of white navy beans. The reason is there's some folks in my household that don't like black beans. I would typically put black beans in this dish. The last thing we've got to show you here is we've chopped up some green onions. All right, folks, we're going to try to rush through this. I think some of our other videos get a little long and it's hard for you on your patience. So I'm not going to ramble as much on this video. What we're going to do, we bought these aluminum cheap pie pans. And we bought some tortillas. Okay? We want to use these tortillas as the pie crust for a roundabout way to make our Spanish themed pie. The first thing we're going to do is take a little bit of Pam and we're going to coat this pie pan really well on the sides and everywhere. And don't be afraid to use too much. All right, we're going to take one of those tortilla shells, or tortillas, I guess the taco shell is the hard kind, and we want to form it in here to be like a pie crust. Okay? And you want to kind of get it even on both sides. Now, folks, we're doing home cooking here, so if you're not perfect, it's still going to taste good. Okay? You want to get that put in there like that. And then to that, we want to add a little sour cream at the bottom to help some of our other ingredients hang in here. And it's easier for me to spread this sour cream in this pie pan if I hold it. Okay, we're going to spread this sour cream around and we're going to fill this up fairly good. Okay, now we're going to get our chicken mixture. Now, this is chicken breast that we seasoned it with paprika, some garlic powder, salt, and pepper. If you want to add cayenne, you want to spice it up, do whatever you need to do to make it come out the way you want it. Remember, you're cooking for yourself. And you can use your hands if you want to, but we're going to put just a small coating of this chicken in this pan. In this tortilla, in whatever you want to call it. All right, folks, I'm getting in here with my fingers to spread this stuff around because your fingers in certain environments are the best cooking tool you got. Okay. Now that beep meant our oven came up to temperature. If you wonder what that noise was in the background. So we're going to take our rice mixture. Again, this is a simple boiling bag rice. You can use the Spanish rice, you can use the yellow rice, use the rice that you would prefer. We added a can of mild rotel tomatoes to this and a little bit of mushrooms that we had left over. We want to take this, again, put us a little bit of this in this. Now, a little bit of this is going to go a long way flavor-wise. And we're going to fill this pan up fairly quick if we put too much in at one time, okay? All right. Let's see, we got that in here fairly well. Now, see? All right. Now, we're going to add a few other little things to it. One of them being these white navy beans. You want to use black beans? That's fine. Beans is going to be powerful in this dish. You want to use refried beans, by all means, put it in here. I can't say it enough, folks. When you cook at home, yes, recipes are important, and certain things have recipes to make them the way that they're supposed to be. But when you're cooking at home, cook for your family. And just like I'm using navy beans in this instead of black beans, so I got members here that don't like black beans. All right. Then to this, we're going to add some green chilies. All right. Now, add as much of these as you want. Again, you can use jalapenos. You can use whatever you want to put in here. I'm going to put us some of these green chilies. We're making a burrito quesadilla thing, but I'm going to show you at the end how we can do this, prepare these ahead of time, and have them for later. Now, I'm going to do 2 of these, only one of them on this video, and I know the other person that's on the other end of that camera doesn't like green chilies, so I put the whole can on there. So that may be more than you would want to put in there, but I'm not going to keep them. All right. Then we're going to add, remember these herbs I was telling you about? It's the semi-fresh is what we're going to call it. They're in the produce section of your grocery store, most common. This is some parsley. I would prefer cilantro, but we've got some of this in the ice box. We're going to use it up, okay? Sometimes in some dishes, cilantro has a soapy taste to me. So, use things that you want. The last thing I found at the grocery store was a squeeze jar of taco sauce. Plain Jane taco sauce. I tasted it. It's fairly mild, not a lot of oomph to it or anything, okay? So we're going to take that and we are going to put a pretty healthy squirt around in our pie. Because the chicken will get dry if we don't put enough in here. Okay, and you could have put this by the chicken layer if you wanted to. I just prefer to do it this way. Now, this is chile verde sauce. Okay, it's not spicy, but again, I found this in the grocery store the other day. We're going to put a little bit of this on here. This is more tomatillo-based sauce, and it's got a real vinegary, sour type of flavor to it. So again, you season this for what you think you want to have. And I shouldn't have to even introduce the next ingredient because it's super, super common. And that is shredded cheese. Use the cheese you want. This is a 4-blend Mexican shredded cheese. Now, I will tell you, put a good layer of cheese on here. This cheese is going to be the glue. And you'll kind of understand this as we go along a little bit more. But this cheese is going to hold the top on. And folks, I hate these bags. When you got old hands that don't work right, sometimes dumping this in the bowl is the best way to go rather than dumping on the counter like I just did. But we want to go ahead and use this. Again, home cooked, we're going to use up what we got. But be sure you get this layered around the edges really, really good. Now you can add some green onions to this if you want. You can add jalapenos. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to grab one more, and we're just going to lay it on the top. Now it sticks over the edge. That's okay. Now we're going to take a little knife, just like you would a pie, okay? And we're going to put a couple of little slits in this, and I know a couple is 2. I'm doing 4. We want this to vapors to come out of there so it doesn't puff up too bad. I'm going to top this with a little shot of Pam, and we're going in the oven. All right, folks, we've got that in the oven. We're going to wait about 20 or 30 minutes. I've got another one that I'm going to build, but I'm not going to bother y'all with the process. I'm just going to do it so that when we come back later, this one will be ready. We'll show you what it looks like, and I'll stick the other one in the oven because this is what we're going to eat tonight. But using these pans, okay, using these pans and building what we built, you could put some foil or saran wrap over the top of that after you're done. These could go in the ice box so that when you come home from work one day, you can pull these out, put them in the oven. Remember though, if they're cold, you can freeze these as well too. But remember, if they're really cold and you put them in here, don't go to 375 right away. Go to like 250 for about 30 minutes. Let the inside get all warmed up. If you blast heat to this real quick to get it brown, the inside's still going to be cold or froze if you froze it first. But these are easy to clean up because they go in the trash can. We'll come back in a minute and show you the end result, and hopefully it turns out the way we want. Guys, y'all saw how we took that out. What we did, we flipped it out on the plate. We didn't show y'all that part, but we flipped it out on the plate, and we ended up getting this pie cut out. It's like the first slice of cake, the first piece of pie is never the best, but using things around the house, simple items, really tastes really, really good. Reminds you a lot of a burrito slash a little bit of a taco. And it just really is good. But if y'all watched my videos in the past, you've heard me say, everybody cooking on the internet never takes a bite and goes, oh, that is terrible, and spits it out. They all say it's wonderful and they eat it, right? One thing before we go, if I can get the cameraman to step over here a minute. All right, if y'all have watched me in the past, you know I have a stove that carries out on my wagon called Sarah. If you don't have cotton, you don't have leather apron, this is what happens to an apron when it gets close to my girl Sarah. She tears them up, folks. Folks, this is the part of the video where I say thanks for watching. Come back to see us. We appreciate all of y'all tuning in. But you know what? I can't pass that up. From the Kaleidoscope Kitchen, and without our hearts, we thank you. Enjoy your food, folks.